Hey everybody, I'm Nick Monticelli. A lot to talk about in the next 2 hours. The government shutdown may be officially over, but getting back to normal is not going to happen overnight. We're going to break down what is coming next. Also, winter weather hit us early this week, and it's only just beginning. This morning, we're going to talk about how to get your car ready for snow emergencies. Plus, we'll show you the amazing lights that lit up the sky across much of the country last night.
From downtown Detroit, Local 4 Live starts right now.
Hey everybody, I'm Nick Monticelli. Now to a story that we first told you about at 6:45 this morning. A firefighter has been hurt while putting out a building fire in Southfield. This is a look thanks to the Southfield highway camera from Northwestern Highway between 9 and 10 Mile. There may still be some smoke in the air if you're driving down the lodge. We're told the firefighter has minor injuries. Now let's head to Capitol Hill. The government may now be open, but it's not as easy as just flipping a switch and turning things back on. It's going to take time for things to get back to normal. Shante Passmore is at the airport for us this morning with a look at the key takeaways in this new temporary budget deal.
Good morning. The news of the government shutdown ending is welcomed by many, but what happens in D.C.? It'll take a while to see some of the changes here at DTW. Why? Well, at last check, according to FlightAware, there are 32 cancellations with 9 delays. This morning, many want to know, when will things get back on track? For 43 days, the government shutdown left millions of Americans in limbo. From furloughed federal workers to layoffs, the political stalemate affected day-to-day living. Then, tens of millions of Americans scrambled to figure out how to get food on the table when their SNAP benefits ran out.
I'm trying to do my best to shield my daughter from how concerned I am, but at the same time, she is seeing the difference in our cupboards. She's seeing the difference in her meals.
So how long could it take for SNAP benefits to be distributed? Officials say they could resume promptly.
It appears that we're on a glide path up in Washington where the SNAP benefits will be fully honored, hopefully by the end of this week.
However, the timeline for air travel returning to normal is less certain. The FAA is still forcing flight cancellations due to air traffic controller shortages. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy says they get 70% of their back pay within 48 hours of the government reopening, but
I'm concerned that we're not going to have on day one controllers come back into the towers right away.
Duffy says he'll rely on data to decide when the FAA can lift shutdown-related flight restrictions.
We're trying to manage risk in the system to make sure people fly and fly safely.
So we mentioned food aid and veterans programs will be taken care of, but other funding will be extended through the end of January, meaning lawmakers have more than 2 months to finish additional spending bills. We're at Metro Airport. I'm Shante Passmore, Local 4.
Shante, thank you. The man accused of killing a well-known Detroit neurosurgeon Dr. Devon Hoover will be in court this morning. Dr. Hoover was found dead in his home back in April of 2023. Desmond Burks is facing a second-degree murder charge for a road rage incident in Dearborn in April of 2024. He's accused of punching a man and leaving him in the street, where the man later died from a head injury. The hearing for the Dr. Hoover case gets underway at 9 o'clock. The Detroit Police Officers Union is pushing back against a new body camera policy. The lawsuit is focusing on the new 30-day deadline to release body cam video from a police shooting that ends in injury or death. The Detroit City Council approved the rule last month, but the union says it breaks their contract. The union wants a judge to hit pause on the policy while the lawsuit is moving forward. Community members speaking out at a jam-packed board meeting in Saline Township last night, many voicing their opinions about a proposed open AI data center. People are worried about noise, pollution, and higher utility bills. Plus, the center would take up about 250 acres of land. We're told the project will not draw any additional resources from the Great Lakes. The Township Board said they had no choice after getting sued for voting against rezoning the land.
Nobody's here to protect us. I am angry. And maybe you can't do anything about it, but I'm angry you didn't fight harder.
The question was simply this. What of the outcomes that could occur in a litigation, what was the best possible outcome for the township?
Now, Attorney General Dana Netzel is urging the Michigan Public Service Commission to treat this as a contested case and conduct public hearings, a step DTE is pressuring the commission to skip. The commission will make that final decision. Well, we got our first taste of winter weather this week, and it's Michigan, so we know there is more to come. Governor Whitmer has declared this week Winter Hazards Awareness Week. So the Michigan State Police and the Department of Emergency Management and Homeland Security are encouraging everyone to prepare now for a winter emergency on the roads and at home. Joining me now to talk about all the things we can do to get ready is Clayton Cummins with the State Police and the Emergency Management and Homeland Security Department. That's a lot of titles there, a lot of words to fit in. Clayton, thank you so much.
Yes, it is a lot of words indeed. Nick, thanks for having me this morning.
Let's talk about this because I know it seems like common sense, and we live in Michigan, and these are normal things that we do every single year, but somehow every single year that common sense seems to go out the window.
Yeah, that's right, Nick. I'm a born and raised Michigander, and every winter it seems like Mother Nature catches me off guard, whether it's extreme cold or the amount of snow that we can get in just one evening or just one morning. I get caught off guard every time. We here at MSP and the Emergency Management and Homeland Security Division want people to just take this time, if the recent snowfall wasn't enough, to take this time being Winter Hazards Preparedness Week to just kind of get into that winter weather mode, if you will. Being prepared now can sure save you a lot of headache down the road, as we know.
Yeah, so we're looking at some video right now of those dreaded roads and scraping ice off of your windshield. Outside of the normal things that we know we have to do, like put an ice scraper in the car and swipe off that snow instead of just letting it blow off as you drive down the highway, what are some things that people should be doing that they may not be thinking about?
Sure. So when it comes to your vehicle, right now is probably a good time. Maybe get that vehicle into the shop, have your radiator system serviced, replace those windshield wipers. You know, you don't know those aren't malfunctioning until you go to use them when it's too late. Also use a winter grade wiper fluid. Your windshield washer fluid sometimes can actually freeze in the tank. So maybe use what you've got left and get that replaced with fluid that does not freeze below 32 degrees. Check your tires. How's the pressure in those? If your tires are looking a little bald, it might be a good idea to have those replaced. That will just aid the slipping and sliding should you encounter that on the roads this winter. Brakes, your brake fluid, oil, your battery, that seems to be the main offender each time it gets cold. You know, calling into work, sorry boss, car won't start.
I'm so glad you mentioned the wiper fluid because I'm ashamed to admit I may or may not have had a hairdryer under the hood a few years ago trying to thaw out some of those lines.
You got to do what you got to do.
You know, since you're Michigan State Police, let's talk about some of the crashes that happen on the roadways. I know MDOT gets mad when we call them accidents because they are avoidable, and especially in a situation like this when we have snow or we have ice on the roads. Many times what happens out there can be avoided if we just take our time and slow down a little bit.
You know, I was in West Michigan last weekend when some lake effect snow started to freeze the highway, and I can't tell you how many people were flying past me at just crazy speeds. Slow down. It's not worth your life getting to your destination. Time is of the essence on not just ice, but snow as well. Just take a breather. You're going to get there. Don't overreact. If you do find yourself sliding around on the road a little bit, just stay cool, calm, and collected. You'll get through it. If not, emergency responders that are on standby during winter weather events, they'll help see you through it as well.
And four-wheel drive means that you have no problem and can plow through anything. You're invincible, right?
That is not true. I have seen four-wheel drive vehicles, trucks stuck in the middle of the road on any given winter day. And again, just because you know your truck is four-wheel drive, your tires may not have the traction to get you moving. So take the time now to getting in the vehicle on the way into work this morning to kind of do an assessment of your vehicle, tires included.
Yeah, I do want to talk about what happens if you do happen to get in a crash, especially on one of our highways. From the MSP perspective, what is the best and safest thing to do if there is a crash?
It's circumstantial. If you're able to stay in your vehicle, sometimes other people are slipping and sliding on the road as well and could very well hit you. Depending on where your vehicle landed, sometimes the exhaust from your vehicle can become wedged in the snow, kind of trapping carbon monoxide in the vehicle. Might be a good idea to crack the window just a little bit. And, make sure in your vehicle you have an emergency kit in case you are stranded on the side of the road, non-perishable food, water. I think the biggest offender for me is I don't have a way to charge any of my electronic devices that I would be using to call for help. So this winter I'll be purchasing, maybe on a Black Friday sale, a mobile charger to make sure my devices stay charged should I be stranded on the side of the road this winter.
Yeah, that and maybe a couple of piles of blankets and hoodies just in case. All right, Clayton,
Yes,
thank you
good
so much
idea.
for your time this morning. We appreciate you, and safe driving out there.
Yes, thank you, Nick.
All right, enough signatures to demand a vote. A live look over Washington, D.C. right now, and the fight to release all of the Jeffrey Epstein files is heating up. And President Trump now getting deeper into the drama that's unfolding. We'll take you there when we come back. Welcome back, everybody. 8:12 here on Thursday morning. A live look now at the White House, where President Trump is getting pulled deeper and deeper into the Jeffrey Epstein drama. Yesterday, a House Oversight Committee released emails from sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein, and President Trump was mentioned in them. It says he knew about the girls, but does not accuse him of any wrongdoing. Survivors are speaking out about those emails becoming public.
It takes a lot of courage for them to break with party lines and to support us. And they're doing that because they know that they're on the right side when they are in support of us. And I think that I'm hopeful that their courage is contagious to other Republican members.
Now, meantime, lawmakers have enough signatures to force a House vote on the Epstein files, leading to further fights between lawmakers over those files.
We have been for maximum transparency of the Epstein files from the very beginning. What I was opposed to is the reckless disregard that was used in drafting the discharge petition. And we've been over this many times, but it was not drafted in such a way that it would adequately protect innocent victims. We have a responsibility to do that. There's as many as 1,000 women, by some estimates, of people who have been victimized because of the sex trafficking and Epstein and all these horrendous, heinous crimes. And we can't we can't have them subjected to any further harm. So we wanted to make sure that they were properly, whose names were properly redacted out of the files. But the discharge petition is not only reckless, it is also a totally moot point. The Oversight Committee has been working, as you all know, around the clock, working on this.
It's not about symbolism, it's about real results, and it's about uncovering an issue that really has to do with something that we know to be true in this country. That you have rich elites for generations that play by a different set of rules, and that if you committed a crime, you're going to jail. If you commit a crime, you're paying restitution, but then you have people who are rich who do not have accountability in this country. This is about justice for the survivors, and it's also to make sure that this never happens again. And so we're going to focus on what's right in front of us, getting this through the House. When it goes to the Senate, we need everybody, whether you're Democrat, Republican, don't care about politics, anything, to come together and say, this isn't about D versus R, this is about the people versus the problem, and this is about justice in this country. And we will all stand together as we tell the Senate to pass it. And when it gets to the president's desk, we will all come together and tell the president, sign it. Sign it because we need accountability. Sign it because you're the one that promised transparency when you were on the campaign trail. And let's get it done.
Now, next week, House Speaker Mike Johnson is planning a vote on the Epstein resolution. It would force the Department of Justice to release all Epstein files, but that's unlikely to pass the Senate. Well, we've seen a week of snow and cold temperatures, but a warm-up is on the way, actually tracking when we could see temps in the 60s. Plus, we're going to check out the northern lights many of us saw last night across the country when we come back. Welcome back, everybody. 8:18 here on Thursday. Let's turn our attention to the northern lights, getting a look at the Fairbanks, Alaska area right now, where the Aurora Borealis put on a spectacular display around midnight Alaska time. And taking a look at this time-lapse video, this is near the Colorado and Nebraska border last night. You can just see how those colors kind of swirl together through the night sky. And check out these two photos. These are from webcams over at Isle Royale National Park. It shows the northern lights dancing over the park. They were taken about 3:40 this morning. Closer to home, if you want to send us some of your pictures of your northern lights, please do so. You can see some of those right here from Commerce Township, Brighton, Warren, and in Oakland Township. Just a beautiful sight all night long. If you snapped a photo of the northern lights or anything that you think we should take a look at, please send them to our MyPics page over on clickondetroit.com. You can also scan that QR code there on the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. Hey, Ash.
Now, forewarned weather with Exact Track 4D.
Well, while we enjoy sunshine from the clear skies today, the clear skies overnight allowed us to have some spectacular viewing of the aurora borealis. So I wanted to share some My Pick photos with you because 2 nights in a row, portions of southeastern Michigan seeing the northern lights in the night sky. This one coming in from Oakland Township, the Rotfather showing the red and green pillars. And one thing you'll notice with all of these photos, you can also see the stars in the night sky. That's how crystal clear it was. Another beautiful shot coming out of Commerce Township right over the water from Chris Ann's. And then we have another one from Michael in West Bloomfield. And once again, the greens and the reds just looking spectacular. So the aurora borealis showing off last night across Metro Detroit. We started off with temperatures in the 30s early today and then rising into the 50s this afternoon. So sunshine holding on throughout the day where you need the sunglasses if you're running errands and you're going to be out and about. Pretty seasonal day on tap. Today's winds, well, we have 20-mile-per-hour winds through, I would say, mid-afternoon, and then you start to see them gradually and slowly kind of tapering off. So we're at least going in the right direction with the gustier conditions that we've had for it seems like a couple weeks now. Calmer conditions working their way in for the remainder of the work week. But then those temperatures, even with a little breeze, can still feel a little cooler as the wind chills will be a couple degrees colder than the actual air temperature. So that 50-degree temperature might feel like upper 40s at points today. November highs. I want to show you this because we've been all over the map. It has been a roller coaster ride so far this month. We started off seasonal for the first couple days of November, and then we had a nice bounce above average. Now, it wasn't significant, but the warmest day that we have clocked so far this month, 63 degrees, and that was on Tuesday, November 4th. But then we had a slide, a significant slide to where we were 20 degrees below average earlier this week, where highs were only in the 30s. But now we're climbing out of that, and we will end up tagging on a couple above average days before it's all said and done for your Friday and Saturday at least. Saturday does come with a rain chance. Let's go ahead and time that out for you. So we get a little bit of moisture building in around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. This is a long-range model, and you've probably heard me say before, kind of overplays just how widespread the rain event will be. It just is showing us that there's moisture in the area. So I'm going to compare it to another more high-resolution model in a moment to kind of pinpoint what I'm talking about there. But as far as Sunday, you might see some flakes flying up north if you're traveling up north. The rest of us are drier, but we're going to be distinctly cooler and windier for the second half of the weekend. And then we have some rain pushing in the region Tuesday, but model data keeping that to our south. So right now I'm going to call for a chance for showers if that tracks a little bit farther north, but it's not going to be a slam dunk. This is the model I wanted to show you. So we hold on to clear skies today. We'll stay dry tomorrow, but then Tuesday after 2 o'clock, there's that passing shower. See how it's a little more isolated and scattered with another line that could pass by late Saturday night into that midnight hour going into Sunday, and then we trend drier for Sunday. So just wanted to compare more of that long range model to something that's a little more specific. Wind forecast, well, those winds start to pick up, gusts 25 to 30 miles per hour this weekend, which means if you're going to do any yard work outside, especially raking those leaves, Friday's the best day to do it, along with hanging the holiday lights, because you don't want to have to deal with the rain Saturday, and you certainly don't want to deal with the cooler and windier conditions on Sunday, but there still will be windows where you can get outside. 61 Saturday's the warmest day of the next 7, and in the 7-day forecast will be in the mid to upper 40s Sunday through the first half of next week.
Ash, thank you so much. A holiday tradition is back open downtown. We're going to take a close look at what the holiday markets at Cadillac Square, I should say, have to offer this year if you want to shop local this holiday season. We'll be right back. Good morning, everybody. I'm Nick Monticelli. A man facing trial in 2 different murders will be in front of a judge this morning for both cases. A judge will hear motions regarding Desmond Burks in the death of Dr. Devon Hoover, who was found dead in his home in April of 2023. Burks' pretrial hearing is also expected to begin for his second-degree murder case. He's accused of punching a man during a road rage incident in Dearborn in April of last year and leaving him in the street. Another 90 minutes of Local 4 Live coming up next. Details on the meeting MDOT is hosting tonight to discuss the future of the ongoing I-375 project. Plus, if you're hunting for a unique gift to wow a loved one this holiday season, then the holiday markets are where you need to be. And finally, we're going to take you to Redford for the latest installment of our Trade Up series, how students at a local high school are taking lessons in skilled trades all the way to a welding competition. And Ashley has your forecast all here on Local 4.
From downtown Detroit, Local 4 Live starts right now.
Hey everybody, 8:29 here on your Thursday morning. I'm Nick Monticelli. Let's take a look at some of your top stories this half hour. A live look now at Eastern Market, where in less than 9 hours we're going to learn about the fate of a project aimed at healing one of the city's deepest wounds. We're talking about the future of the I-375 project. Tonight, MDOT will unveil its new plans for this project that will reconnect a historical part of the city, the Black Bottom and Paradise Valley neighborhoods. Right here is a map where those neighborhoods once stood before 1960. Between the 1920s and the 1950s, generations of black families built their dreams here before I-375 came through Detroit.
It was gentrification. It was one of the earliest gentrification processes that was carried out, certainly in Detroit, but maybe throughout the nation. It's been a conversation that's happened over several years now. What to do, how to reconstruct a roadway that displaced thousands of African Americans over a period of time. There's no doubt we need to study this history, learn from this history, and ultimately respond to this history in a very significant way.
Now, Black Bottom and Paradise Valley were the beating hearts of black culture and success in Detroit. On one side was the heart in Black Bottom. You had hundreds of black-owned businesses, from doctors and lawyers and entrepreneurs. It also had churches and community centers as gathering places for generations. Now, if Black Bottom was the heart, then Paradise Valley was the soul, featuring hotels and theaters and legendary jazz clubs that had the likes of Billie Holiday and Duke Ellington. That's until the bulldozers came. In September of 2022, the federal government gave a $104 million grant to the city of Detroit for a rebuilding project.
I've been advocating for 6 years to fill in this ditch and knit this city back together. We know the history. Detroit's been divided by this freeway for nearly 70 years.
And the unjust decision displaced 130,000 Michiganders. It uprooted hundreds of businesses and dozens of houses of worship.
Now, the plan was to transform I-375 into a raised boulevard, honoring what was lost. Small businesses, spaces, affordable housing, green spaces, and community gathering places. But all of that came to a pause in August when costs jumped, adding $200 million more than initially planned.
What was not being considered is you're disrupting so much land use and massive impact on businesses.
We're an advocate for biking and walking, and we felt this could really improve biking and walking.
Do you think this project will ever get off the ground?
You know, I hope so.
Yes, it has to be done. Something has to be done because the age of the road and those bridges.
Now, there is another side to this story. Some saying what happened to the area was a devastating mistake, but now to spend hundreds of millions of dollars to fill in an expressway that is heavily used is another mistake, especially considering how 375 is a major connection for traffic in and out of downtown for events.
I don't know that any of us are trying to kill the project. What we want is a better outcome, because we're going to have to live with this for 50 to 75 years. And just because there's an interest to spend federal dollars quickly doesn't mean that we should spend it on a bad project.
So all of that leads up to tonight's meeting at the Eastern, which is an event space inside of Eastern Market. That's where MDOT will unveil its new plans and hear from the community on what they want. That is happening at 5:30. If you can't be there, they are live streaming that meeting on the MDOT YouTube channel. Those who may be streaming it can go to the MDOT website and submit any questions or comments for the meeting by email or by phone. Well, it is becoming a fun holiday tradition downtown. The downtown Detroit markets and Cadillac Lodge are now open for the season. This year, 18 local small businesses will line Cadillac Square. It's funded by one of our Go For partners, the Gilbert Family Foundation. Our Maya Kuznicki got a tour of all the shops this year.
The holiday season is officially here in Detroit, and I'm here with Dustin Stalsman with Bedrock. Now, Dustin, it is magic down here today.
It is. It's the opening day of the downtown Detroit markets and the Cadillac Lodge, and it looks stunning. It looks festive. We're ready for the holiday season.
Okay, do you want to give me a little tour and people at home a tour of what we've got going on around here?
Sure. So we have 18 market vendors this holiday season. And again, these are local small businesses that have an opportunity to really have some exposure to the larger Detroit community. And so, we're really just excited for them to be able to show all of their products and, artisanal goods and everything that, they're going to be offering this holiday season.
In small businesses, they're so important to our community. Why would you encourage someone to come out here and get a one-of-a-kind gift for their loved ones this holiday season?
Yeah, I think, we obviously are, very supportive of small businesses, and as part of, Bedrock, we really want these businesses to continue to grow and foster in the Detroit community. So this is like some place where you can get a gift for anyone, which I really love. And to your point, it's very one-of-a-kind, unique type of items. So we really think that, there's something here for everyone, even some food from Waffle Cabin or Fat George's. you know, there's really truly something special about the markets this time of year.
I was just going to mention the food because you just get hit with that aroma and the smells from the food, and everyone on the street is like, you have to go try it. What's your favorite thing on the menu?
So, you know, obviously Waffle Cabin is a classic, but I like mine pretty simple, you know, chocolate syrup, whipped cream, not too complicated.
Yeah, and obviously we're looking at all the small shops, but there's also the Cadillac Lodge, which is a place where people can warm up, for one, get a bite to eat or a drink. Do you want to talk about some of the fun things you can do over there?
Yeah, so the Cadillac Lodge is also a staple of downtown Detroit in the holiday season, and you know, it is such a cozy place to go and, you know, go with your family, go with friends, and as you mentioned, you know, lots of food and beverage offerings, you know, hot cocoa, the classic staples for the holiday season, but, you know, also something for the adults too.
Yeah, and I know we were talking about just how fast all of this got put together. Do you want to talk about all the amazing partnerships that you guys had to put this on?
Yeah, as you can imagine, something like this does not happen by just one partner, and we're really proud to work with Downtown Detroit Partnership, the Gilbert Family Foundation, and TechTown, who are all a part of bringing this amazing experience to life.
Yeah, and what are you most looking forward to seeing everyone come in here? I know we just opened up and there's already a bunch of people inside.
There are, yeah. I mean, we literally just opened up at 11 o'clock this morning, and I think, you know, we've already seen a lot of people filtering in, but, you know, just to see their reactions, you know, we have a lot of new vendors this holiday season here at the markets, and of course, a few returning favorites, but just being able to watch them engage with these small businesses and find, you know, these amazing products that, again, you wouldn't find anywhere else. I just look forward to everybody's reaction this holiday season to all of these special places downtown Detroit.
And why are the holidays so special in Detroit?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of you know, nostalgia for people with all of the things that used to occur in downtown Detroit over the holiday season. But over the years, you know, there's been a lot of new experiences that have, you know, come to life. And so whether it's the Lodge or the downtown Detroit markets, we also tomorrow kick off the 1001 Winter Wonders experience, where people can come for free and meet Santa Claus, get photos with him. This year we also, of course, launched the Nick Gilbert Way, the new public plaza at Hudson's, and so there's just so much to do. Plus, we're adjacent to Campus Martius, where is always a very festive experience too. So, just really excited for people to continue to create new traditions in downtown Detroit. Check out deckedoutdetroit.com. Follow Decked Out Detroit on social media. It always has the latest updates and information and the whole comprehensive list of things that people can experience. It's, again, something for everyone. It's family friendly. It's a place to be this holiday season.
Well, thank you so much for your time, and you've heard it from him. You have to come down here and check it out for yourself. There's so much to do here.
All right, so much to do, Amaya. Thank you so much. By the way, those markets will stay open until January 4th. A high school football game causing some controversy. Next, why some think the neutral location of the game really isn't neutral at all. We'll explain when we come back. Welcome back, everybody. An act of violence at a high school football playoff game last week, leading to a change of venue for one of this week's games. But the neutral field chosen doesn't seem to be so neutral to some. The changes follow a shooting that hurt a 17-year-old at a Harper Woods football game last Friday, raising some safety concerns. So Dearborn Divine Child will not be traveling east to play at Harper Woods. Instead, Saturday's game will happen at John Glenn High School in Westland, just 7 miles from Divine Child and more than 30 miles from Harper Woods. Let's get to Lauren Kostick, who is digging into that decision.
Well, Harper Woods was supposed to have home field advantage playing right here at their high school, but because of safety concerns, the game is now being moved to a new venue closer to their opponent. A last-minute switch catching fans off guard. The location of Saturday's regional final game between Harper Woods and Divine Child is now being moved to Westland at John Glenn High School. The decision comes after a 17-year-old was shot last Friday during a Harper Woods football game.
I guess as he was, leaving out, a fight broke out, and then, he heard a boom, and that's when he figured out he got shot.
The mom of the teen said her son was hit by a stray bullet, even though multiple police departments were patrolling the area. Because of that, there are now safety concerns for the upcoming game. The Michigan High School Athletic Association said the district wanted to keep the game at Harper Woods, but limit or ban fans altogether, saying, quote, the MHSAA has been in contact with both and determined it was best to move the game to John Glenn, which not only is able to provide safety precautions, but will allow for more fans to attend the game. John Glenn High School is over an hour away from Harper Woods, but just 20 minutes from Divine Child, leaving fans frustrated. The Detroit Line made this post saying that is incredibly disrespectful to Harper Woods. 500 others commenting, one writing a midway point would have been more fair. Another saying this is the responsible move. On Wednesday, we also went to the Harper Woods administrative office, but we're told the district is not commenting. We also just got a statement from Divine Child High School about this. They say initially they had concerns about safety, but it now has to do with stadium capacity, saying this new venue will be better for everyone. Reporting in Harper Woods, Lauren Kostick, Local 4.
1 second, I'm sorry.
Lauren, thank you. A judge will decide if video will be restricted in the trial of a woman accused of stabbing her McDonald's manager to death. Afeni Muhammad is charged with Jennifer Harris's murder at the East Point restaurant in July. A motion hearing asked to restrict video and not show witnesses from inside the McDonald's and body camera video. The judge has not made a decision just yet. An Oakland County mom is accused of leaving her 3 kids to live in horrifying conditions. Terry Amos Johnson is charged with child abuse. Police found her kids in a trash-filled Pontiac apartment with no plumbing. Some of the pictures are just too disturbing to show you. Police found the kids when a 12-year-old girl reported a break-in. The kids are now with their fathers. Well, this morning we are getting a new look at the plans to transform the area around the RenCen and the Riverfront. The Downtown Development Authority is giving the project $75 million. These are pictures of the plan, including a new pedestrian promenade from Jefferson all the way to the Riverfront. 2 of the RenCen towers will be torn down to make room for this project. Well, it's an iconic sound everyone knows. Ricola! A live look at the Swiss Alps, and next how you can get your hands on something that helps ease your sore throat that's not a cough drop. 8:46 here on your Thursday morning. A live look at the beautiful Alps of Switzerland at the top of Europe. And now you can have a piece of Switzerland with you, all while taking care of your sore throat in style. The Swiss brand Ricola is now offering scarves infused with essential oils of the brand's signature herbal alpine smell. The scarves come in 2 different aromas, lemon, balm, mint, and peppermint. There's even a secret pocket to stash your cough drops. Now, the original batch of scarves sold out instantly, but the brand is making more, and you can get your name on a wait list. Incredible. Producer Noel, do you want to talk about Ricola? Here's Ashley with your forecast.
Now, forewarned weather with Exact Track 4D.
Well, while we enjoy sunshine from the clear skies today, the clear skies overnight allowed us to have some spectacular viewing of the aurora borealis. So I wanted to share some My Pick photos with you because 2 nights in a row, portions of southeastern Michigan seeing the northern lights in the night sky. This one coming in from Oakland Township, the Rotfather showing the red and green pillars. And one thing you'll notice with all of these photos, you can also see the stars in the night sky. That's how crystal clear it was. Another beautiful shot coming out of Commerce Township right over the water from Chris Ann's. And then we have another one from Michael in West Bloomfield. And once again, the greens and the reds just looking spectacular. So the aurora borealis showing off last night across Metro Detroit. We started off with temperatures in the 30s early today and then rising into the 50s this afternoon. So sunshine holding on throughout the day where you need the sunglasses if you're running errands and you're going to be out and about. Pretty seasonal day on tap. Today's winds, well, we have 20-mile-per-hour winds through, I would say, mid-afternoon, and then you start to see them gradually and slowly kind of tapering off. So we're at least going in the right direction with the gustier conditions that we've had for it seems like a couple weeks now. Calmer conditions working their way in for the remainder of the work week. But then those temperatures, even with a little breeze, can still feel a little cooler as the wind chills will be a couple degrees colder than the actual air temperature. So that 50-degree temperature might feel like upper 40s at points today. November highs. I want to show you this because we've been all over the map. It has been a roller coaster ride so far this month. We started off seasonal for the first couple days of November, and then we had a nice bounce above average. Now, it wasn't significant, but the warmest day that we have clocked so far this month, 63 degrees, and that was on Tuesday, November 4th. But then we had a slide, a significant slide to where we were 20 degrees below average earlier this week, where highs were only in the 30s. But now we're climbing out of that, and we will end up tagging on a couple above average days before it's all said and done for your Friday and Saturday at least. Saturday does come with a rain chance. Let's go ahead and time that out for you. So we get a little bit of moisture building in around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. This is a long-range model, and you've probably heard me say before, kind of overplays just how widespread the rain event will be. It just is showing us that there's moisture in the area. So I'm going to compare it to another more high-resolution model in a moment to kind of pinpoint what I'm talking about there. But as far as Sunday, you might see some flakes flying up north if you're traveling up north. The rest of us are drier, but we're going to be distinctly cooler and windier for the second half of the weekend. And then we have some rain pushing in the region Tuesday, but model data keeping that to our south. So right now I'm going to call for a chance for showers if that tracks a little bit farther north, but it's not going to be a slam dunk. This is the model I wanted to show you. So we hold on to clear skies today. We'll stay dry tomorrow, but then Tuesday after 2 o'clock, there's that passing shower. See how it's a little more isolated and scattered with another line that could pass by late Saturday night into that midnight hour going into Sunday, and then we trend drier for Sunday. So just wanted to compare more of that long range model to something that's a little more specific. Wind forecast, well, those winds start to pick up, gusts 25 to 30 miles per hour this weekend, which means if you're going to do any yard work outside, especially raking those leaves, Friday's the best day to do it, along with hanging the holiday lights, because you don't want to have to deal with the rain Saturday, and you certainly don't want to deal with the cooler and windier conditions on Sunday, but there still will be windows where you can get outside. 61 Saturday's the warmest day of the next 7, and in the 7-day forecast will be in the mid to upper 40s Sunday through the first half of next week.
All right, Ash, thank you so much. Gearing up for a Sunday night football fight as we take a live look at Philly right now. Next, we're going to hear from Lions head coach Dan Campbell about how the team is preparing to take on the defending Super Bowl champs. Let's take a live look at Comerica Park on this Thursday morning. While we do not know the fate of Tarek Skubal and the Detroit Tigers when it comes to contract extensions, we do know one thing. Skubal is the best pitcher in the American League for a second straight year. He just won his second straight Cy Young Award, named the American League's best pitcher last night. He is the first AL pitcher in 25 years to win back-to-back, taking 26 of 30 first-place votes. Skubal dominated the league with the lowest ERA and a strikeout rate of 32%. This honor means a lot to him, and he does not take it lightly.
Oh, it's everything. There's a lot of the people that are here, and there's some that are missing, but they're the why to what I do. So they're the reason that I work so hard and why I go out there and compete. And they care for me. They've been with me through everything. My whole life, my entire career, and it means a lot.
Now, again, no word on where contract talks with Skubal stand right now, but we'll let you know when we figure that out. Well, Eagles country is buzzing over in Philly, gearing up for the big Sunday night football showdown. The Lions and Eagles have both been talked about for the Super Bowl recently, but they haven't faced off until now. This Sunday, these two midseason contenders clash in a high-stakes battle for the NFC lead. Lions head coach Dan Campbell says it's a tough opponent, but his team is ready to win that fight.
From your experience, how competitive you are, how much does that add to it, like to try to get a victory against these guys going? Because in the previous two, you guys haven't. And what's made them so successful?
Well, first, I just want to win, man. Right? I mean, that's what being competitive is, man. You want to win, and yeah, those guys, we played them twice. They got our number twice. They got after us both times, really. I mean, we fought our way back in 22, but really we were down pretty good. And they have a style and they're very good at it, and I wouldn't say there's anything necessarily complex about it, but it's very sound. It's very sound across the board. And like I say, Nick's done an unbelievable job. And then, Coach Fangio, I mean, he's a legend, man. It stood the test of time, that style of defense, the way they play, the coverage, the rush goes hand in hand, and it's a pain in the ass. It's hard. It's hard to deal with offensively. But I just think it's good. It's good, sound football. And they don't beat themselves. I mean, at the end of the day, they don't beat themselves. And when they need a critical play, they come up with a critical play. And that's what champions do. And that's why they've been able to have the success that they have.
Well, no Aiden Hutchinson at practice on Wednesday with an elbow injury, but he did tell us he is ready to play this weekend. The Lions have a big primetime game ahead, a chance to score huge with that win, and it could impact the #1 seed later on. So where we see ourselves as a team is obviously a big deal.
Where we see ourselves as a team, we every year the standard is to battle for that #1 seed, and they're one of those teams that we're going to battle with. So that's why it's a must-win in my eyes, and it's going to set us up really good for the last stretch of this season.
Yeah, it'll be great. It'll be fun. It'll be ruckus. We've played in those environments. This will be another one of those. Sunday Night Football, previous champ, like everything you want. And they'll bring it. We'll bring it. It'll be fun.
So we are going on a road trip with the Lions this weekend to take on the Eagles. Hobie Artigue is going to be in Philadelphia on Sunday with coverage starting at 6 p.m. Kickoff is at 8:20, followed by Local 4 News with some post-game reactions. Another hour of Local 4 Live is coming your way in just a few minutes. Stay with us. We'll be right back after this break. Welcome back to Local 4 Live, everybody. I'm Nick Monticelli. We are following big stories developing in Washington and here at home. The longest government shutdown in history is over, but what happens next? We're looking into when airports will return to normal and when people can expect their SNAP benefits to be restored. Then, did you see those northern lights outside your window last night? So we're going to take a look at some pictures that our viewers sent to us. And then it's time to trade up. Local 4 is committed to shining a light on the skilled trades. Today we're talking about a welding competition involving high school students. Local 4 Live starts right now.
From downtown Detroit, Local 4 Live starts right now.
And we are going to start with that federal government shutdown and things getting back up and running. Last night, the House passed a government funding bill and President Trump signed it into law. 6 Democrats joined all but 2 Republicans in voting yes. As for Michigan members of the House, all 7 Republicans voted in favor of the bill, while the 6 Democrats voted against it. Many Democrats are angry the bill does not include health care reforms. The Senate's top Republican promised a vote on extending the Affordable Care Act tax credits, but most Republicans are against this. President Trump is floating the idea of giving money directly to Americans instead.
Donald Trump and Republicans made the decision to shut the government down. Would rather do that than provide health care that's affordable.
So I'm always willing to work with anyone, including the other party. We'll work on something having to do with health care. We can do a lot better. We can do great. So much money is involved, and we're willing to pay so much money to the people. So we're going to pay a lot of money to the people. They're going to go out and buy their own health care, and we're going to forget this Obamacare madness.
All right, so what happens now? We've seen the major impact the shutdown has had on SNAP benefits and air travel as we look live at Metro Airport right now. The timeline for air travel returning is not certain in terms of going back to normal. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy says air traffic controllers will get 70% of their back pay within 48 hours of the government reopening. But airlines say they need time to adjust schedules and staffing. Industry experts do not think this will bleed, though, into the busy Thanksgiving travel week.
I don't think any flights over the Thanksgiving week have actually been canceled yet. I think the airlines have been pretty tight, working with the FAA, looking a few days out to be sure, but nothing. We're still a good week plus away from that Thanksgiving week. So, yeah, there's still plenty of time to make sure that everything over the Thanksgiving week goes off as originally planned.
All right, Shante Passmore is at Metro Airport with a look at what it will take for things to get back to normal.
Good morning. You know, certainly it's welcome news to hear that the government shutdown is now over. But what happens in D.C., it's going to take a while to see some of those changes here at DTW. At last check, FlightAware is reporting there are over 30 cancellations with a handful of delays. This morning, a look at when things could get back to normal. The reopening of the government is having real-world impacts on Americans today. More services are becoming available again with the return of furloughed federal employees. They're set to get back pay, and some experts predict an economic rebound.
Even though it gets made up in the measured GDP data, the real human impact is never fully recovered.
For people on Obamacare, the reopening could mean their health insurance costs will more than double. The bill does not guarantee an extension of expiring subsidies. Democrats vow to keep fighting.
Either Republicans finally decide to extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits this year, or the American people will throw Republicans out of their jobs next year.
The House Speaker says he wants program reforms first.
I'm not going to guarantee a vote on ACA unreformed COVID-era subsidies that is just a boondoggle to insurance companies and robs the taxpayer. We got a lot of work to do on that.
It's unclear when flight schedules will return to normal, but SNAP benefits should be available again soon.
Food should not be up for a bargain. Everyone should have the right to eat.
For many programs, the bill provides funding through January. The president is urging Senate Republicans to reduce Democrats' power in the chamber before then.
If we had the filibuster terminated, this would never happen again.
So we mentioned food aid and veterans programs will be taken care of, but other funding will be extended through the end of January, meaning lawmakers have more than 2 months to finish additional spending bills. We're at Metro Airport. I'm Shante Passmore, Local 4.
All right, Shante, thank you much. Other news on this Thursday morning, a firefighter is hurt while putting out a building fire in Southfield. This is a look at the scene from Northwestern Highway, near Northwestern Highway, I should say, between 9 and 10 Mile. There is some smoke still in that area if you're driving down the lodge, though, but we are told the firefighters has some minor injuries. The man accused of killing well-known Detroit neurosurgeon Dr. Devon Hoover is appearing in court at any moment. Desmond Burks is accused of killing Hoover, who was found dead in his home back in April of 2023. Burks also faces a second-degree murder charge for a road rage incident in Dearborn in April of 2024. He's accused of punching a man and leaving him in the street, where the man later died from a head injury. The Detroit Police Officers Union is pushing back against a new body camera policy. The lawsuit is focusing on a new 30-day deadline to release body cam video from police shootings that end in injury or death. The Detroit City Council approved the rule last month, but the union says it breaks their contract. The union is asking a judge to hit pause on this policy while the lawsuit is moving forward. Community members speaking out at a jam-packed board meeting in Saline Township last night, many voicing their opinions about a proposed open AI data center. People are worried about noise, pollution, and higher utility bills. Plus, the center would take up about 250 acres. We're told the project will not draw any additional resources from the Great Lakes. The Township Board says they had no choice after getting sued for voting against rezoning that land.
Nobody's here to protect us. I am angry. And maybe you can't do anything about it, but I'm angry you didn't fight harder.
The question was simply this. What of the outcomes that could occur in a litigation, what was the best possible outcome for the township?
Well, Attorney General Dana Nessel is urging the Michigan Public Service Commission to treat this as a contested case and conduct public hearings. DTE is pressuring the commission to skip those hearings. The commission will make the final decision. Well, we continue to look into danger zones in your community. Today's A Danger Zone takes us downriver. We've all been there, stuck at the intersection waiting for someone to turn left. A viewer told us she's seeing people sick of waiting and driving recklessly to get around cars trying to turn. This is the intersection at King Road and Grange Road. Pre-Man shows us the problem and explains why there is no easy solution.
We're driving along the border of Riverview and Trenton, and a viewer's concerned about this intersection because she says when people are waiting to turn left, just like I am, she says other drivers have no patience trying to get around them.
I think it's extremely dangerous. I think it's been dangerous for years.
Michelle Livernoy called Local 4 after watching our Danger Zone stories.
I saw Prion discussing dangerous intersections, and I thought this was worth bringing up.
Michelle works near King and Grange Roads along the Riverview-Trenton border.
I've seen plenty of close calls.
She says drivers take risks when people are waiting to turn left.
There are a lot of waste management trucks that will be turning here. People are behind them. They get aggravated. They jut off to the right or to the left to pass them. In the meantime, the people coming the opposite way are turning and they can't see them.
When she asked about installing a turn arrow at the intersection, Michelle says she couldn't get any answers.
I called Riverview Police. They told me it was Trenton's responsibility. So then I called Trenton, and they said the state of Michigan's responsibility.
We did some digging, and this intersection falls under the jurisdiction of Wayne County. Now, the traffic engineer says to consider adding a center lane, they first have to see if there's enough lane pavement. And right now they say there isn't enough data to support a study. Michelle says she hopes that'll change one day.
I'd like to see a designated turn lane. I'd like to see an arrow so everybody gets the opportunity to turn.
In Riverview, I'm Priya Mann, Local 4.
Thank you so much. Keep sending us tips about danger zones in your community. All you have to do is scan that QR code there at the bottom left-hand corner of your screen, or you can go to our website at clickondetroit.com to let us know about the dangerous issues you're seeing in your community. Well, 7 months ago, a fast-moving house fire had firefighters working desperately to find a homeowner. You're going to see the moment the victim reunited with the people who saved his life coming up next. Welcome back, everybody. 9:10 here on Thursday morning. The annual Above and Beyond Awards are happening tonight, honoring Detroit's first responders, including a firefighter who is getting an award for helping a man to safety earlier this year in April, when his home caught on fire and quickly spread out of control. Jason Coulthorpe caught up with that firefighter and the man he saved.
What's it like to finally meet this guy?
Nervous, grateful, very thankful.
It's been about 7 months now since Jim Davenport was rescued from his Palmer Woods home by Sergeant Joe Easterling. But both men remember those critical moments like it was yesterday.
While I was in there, I thought I knew everything to do, but of course, I panicked.
At first, though, Jim did not panic when he saw the flames. He was sweating a pipe in the basement when he quickly put out a hot spot. Upstairs, his wife was on the phone with the fire department when she turned a corner and saw the room engulfed.
Fire jumped from the front of the house, from the library, which covered the front door. It jumped into the family room, which covered the back door.
Moments later, Sergeant Easterling and the rest of his crew were at the door.
When I came up to the front door, I had met his wife then, and I'd asked, I said, is anybody inside the house? Because at that time, you know that it's actually occupied.
I ran from the front of the house to the back to try and get out. And once I figured I couldn't get out, I don't know, I just sort of panicked.
I had asked, was anybody else inside? She was a little bit distraught. It took a couple times to ask her. And then she said yes. She's like, I think my husband's inside.
It was really hot in there. It was like a blanket or something was around me from the fire that was sort of, the heat smothered me. In a few seconds, I couldn't see anything, right? So I ran back downstairs to my home office. Why I did that, I don't know.
When I started my search, I was going to start from the first floor, go to the second.
And the next thing I heard was someone calling me saying, hey, come up out of there, come up, follow me, right? And of course, it was Sergeant Easterling.
Jim didn't realize how much smoke was in his lungs, and as the two jumped through his broken-out window, he was struggling to get up.
I tried to get up, and I fell again. Next thing I knew, Sergeant Easterling had picked me up and was carrying me, away from the house.
We're doing our job, and that's all that matters. So it's nice to actually have a chance to talk to him and see that he's smiling and laughing.
Sergeant Easterling's actions exemplify the highest standards of courage, leadership, and service.
Just doing the job also means just getting the well-deserved accolades.
His bravery and dedication are truly deserving of the highest recognition and honor. Let's give him a round of applause.
Applause, a plaque, and yes, even a pie to the face. And that, too, was appreciated. As for Jim, he suffered plenty of damage to the house and, well, maybe a little to his ego.
Everybody is okay except for my wife. She's still upset at me.
Did she let you do, are you allowed to do any more, DIY home projects or anything?
No projects.
What an incredible story, and well told by the one and only Jason Coulthorpe. He's sitting right there, with a big smile on his face. Sergeant Easterling will be among 37 other first responders being honored tonight, again at the annual Above and Beyond Awards happening at Ford Field. Well, if you still have some leaves covering your lawn, this weekend may be the only good time to get rid of them. Ashley is going to tell us the one day that's going to be better for raking and getting rid of those leaves. And then we're going to take a look at an incredible show in the sky where the northern lights were visible again last night. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. We are showing off more of your pictures of last night's Northern Lights. Take a look at the incredible pics that were captured around our area. We got pictures from Brighton, Commerce Township, Manchester, West Bloomfield, Warren, and so many more. These photos were submitted to our MyPics page. Anytime you see something happening in your community, snap a picture and send it in to us. We might use it right here on the air. Let's check in with Ashley to see more with the Aurora Borealis. Hey, Ash.
Now, forewarned weather with ExactTrack 4D.
Well, while we enjoy sunshine from the clear skies today, the clear skies overnight allowed us to have some spectacular viewing of the Aurora Borealis. I wanted to share some MyPic photos with you because 2 nights in a row, portions of southeastern Michigan seeing the northern lights in the night sky. This one coming in from Oakland Township, the Rotfather showing the red and green pillars. And one thing you'll notice with all of these photos, you can also see the stars in the night sky. That's how crystal clear it was. Another beautiful shot coming out of Commerce Township right over the water from Chris Ann's. And then we have another one from Michael in West Bloomfield. And once again, the greens and the reds just looking spectacular. So the Aurora Borealis showing off last night across Metro Detroit. We started off with temperatures in the 30s early today and then rising into the 50s this afternoon. So sunshine holding on throughout the day where you need the sunglasses if you're running errands and you're going to be out and about. Pretty seasonal day on tap. Today's winds, well, we have 20-mile-per-hour winds through, I would say, mid-afternoon, and then you start to see them gradually and slowly kind of tapering off. So we're at least going in the right direction with the gustier conditions that we've had for it seems like a couple weeks now. Calmer conditions working their way in for the remainder of the work week. But then those temperatures, even with a little breeze, can still feel a little cooler as the wind chills will be a couple degrees colder than the actual air temperature. So that 50-degree temperature might feel like upper 40s at points today. November highs. I want to show you this because we've been all over the map. It has been a roller coaster ride so far this month. We started off seasonal for the first couple days of November, and then we had a nice bounce above average. Now, it wasn't significant, but the warmest day that we have clocked so far this month, 63 degrees, and that was on Tuesday, November 4th. But then we had a slide, a significant slide to where we were 20 degrees below average earlier this week, where highs were only in the 30s. But now we're climbing out of that, and we will end up tagging on a couple above average days before it's all said and done for your Friday and Saturday at least. Saturday does come with a rain chance. Let's go ahead and time that out for you. So we get a little bit of moisture building in around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. This is a long-range model, and you've probably heard me say before, kind of overplays just how widespread the rain event will be. It just is showing us that there's moisture in the area. So I'm going to compare it to another more high-resolution model in a moment to kind of pinpoint what I'm talking about there. But as far as Sunday, you might see some flakes flying up north if you're traveling up north. The rest of us are drier, but we're going to be distinctly cooler and windier for the second half of the weekend. And then we have some rain pushing in the region Tuesday, but model data keeping that towards south. So right now I'm going to call for a chance for showers if that tracks a little bit farther north, but it's not going to be a slam dunk. This is the model I wanted to show you. So we hold on to clear skies today. We'll stay dry tomorrow, but then Tuesday after 2 o'clock, there's that passing shower. See how it's a little more isolated and scattered with another line that could pass by late Saturday night into that midnight hour going into Sunday, and then we trend drier for Sunday. So just wanted to compare more of that long range model to something that's a little more specific. Wind forecast, well, those winds start to pick up, gusts 25 to 30 miles per hour this weekend, which means if you're going to do any yard work outside, especially raking those leaves, Friday's the best day to do it, along with hanging the holiday lights, because you don't want to have to deal with the rain Saturday, and you certainly don't want to deal with the cooler and windier conditions on Sunday, but there still will be windows where you can get outside. 61 Saturday's the warmest day of the next 7, and in the 7-day forecast will be in the mid to upper 40s Sunday through the first half of next week.
Well, our Go Forward event, Operation Cozy, was a huge success thanks to all of you. We collected more than 5,000 coats and $2,500 in donations. We partnered with the Center for Youth and Families, who will help get those donations to the families in need. J. Scott Smith is showing us how your generosity will support your community.
It was a steady stream of people into the Kadesh Baptist Church here in Detroit, as so many people are looking to donate, whether it's coats, hats, other winter items such as these coats and jackets right here. And what went on here on Wednesday was basically just another testament to when people decide that they want to go for it.
This really does something for me.
It started early this morning and just began piling in throughout the day at the Kadesh Baptist Church. Coats, hats, gloves, jackets, pants, some of them fresh from the store, some of them hand-me-downs, some of them handmade, all of them going to help people stay warm this winter from the Center for Youth and Families in Detroit. Elizabeth Richardson is the COO.
Because we're able to help children, help families, and even if they're not mine, I take personal responsibility for making sure that we take care of our village.
Last year, they collected more than 1,800 articles of clothing. That number had been nearly tripled by midday today, which is serious business for Elizabeth.
I grew up in the city of Detroit in some of the same zip codes that we service, and to see that God, and if I can say that, has been able to bring me back into the community to help the students and the kids that I once lived, just really does something for me.
Among the donations was a particularly special one from Debbie in Dearborn. She arrived with 4 bags full of 77 scarves and hats that she crocheted herself in the last year.
It's heartwarming. Yeah, knowing that 77 people will be warmer because of what I've given. It's nice.
Oh, most definitely. I mean, I cried when I saw those scarves, you know, because I know how much time and effort and love that takes to do that.
Jerry Fisher is the organization's CEO, and she says events like this will benefit so many kids that have had to brave cold Detroit winters, often with just a hoodie or maybe a hat or gloves. And it's been a huge sense of gratitude here today.
All of these people, you know, believed in us, believed in WDIV, and believed in doing, you know, these coats and jackets.
So as mentioned, in a given year, like last year, they were able to pull in 1,800 donations when they held this event. This year, the number is over 5,000, nearly 3 times as much. And you can continue to donate, by the way, and not just clothing. You can also donate money by going to the Center for Youth and Families website. And they're going to start distributing all these items that they got today. Those are going to start going out just in time for Thanksgiving. At the Kadesh Baptist Church in Detroit, I'm Jay Scott Smith for Local 4.
All right, Jay, thank you, sir. Still ahead, Apple is unveiling a feature that puts even more of your life onto your iPhone. And we're going to take you back to Washington, where we are getting a look at thousands of emails from sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein, what they reveal and how President Trump is involved when we come back. Let's get out to the White House now with an issue that keeps coming back to haunt President Trump, his past ties to Jeffrey Epstein. 20,000 documents from Epstein's estate were made public by the House Oversight Committee yesterday. As Peter Alexander reports, President Trump and the Republicans are fighting back, saying the emails prove nothing.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Overnight, President Trump ignoring questions about his longtime relationship with the late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein.
Mr. President, can you respond to these Epstein emails that were released today?
The latest round of scrutiny follows the House Oversight Committee releasing more than 20,000 documents from Epstein's estate. They include a 2019 email where Epstein, who would soon be indicted on sex trafficking charges, referenced President Trump, writing, "Of course he knew about the girls," as he asked Ghislaine to stop. That's a reference to Epstein's former girlfriend and co-conspirator Ghislaine Maxwell, who is currently serving 20 years for charges including conspiring to sex traffic minors. In another email from 2011, Epstein telling Maxwell, "I want you to realize that that dog that hasn't barked is Trump," adding, a victim, whose name is redacted, spent hours at my house with him. The White House says the redacted victim is Virginia Giuffre, one of Epstein's most prominent accusers, who died by suicide earlier this year, but never accused Mr. Trump of any wrongdoing. Epstein continuing to reference Trump in later emails, writing in 2015 to a New York Times reporter, quote, "Would you like photos of Donald and girls in bikinis in my kitchen?" The White House pushing back.
These emails prove absolutely nothing other than the fact that President Trump did nothing wrong.
And the president calling the story a hoax on social media, arguing Democrats are trying to deflect on how badly they've done on the shutdown. While the president has denied any wrongdoing, the Epstein scandal has not gone away. House Speaker Mike Johnson now promising he'll put the future of the Epstein files on the floor for a vote next week, an effort Democrats, along with multiple House Republicans, support. One, Thomas Massey, saying that the White House asked some of them to change course unsuccessfully, urging his colleagues to join the effort.
The record is going to last longer than Trump's presidency.
And that was Peter Alexander reporting. Showing your passport at the airport just got easier if you have an iPhone. Apple announcing the launch of digital ID that you can store in Apple Wallet on your iPhone or Apple Watch. You create the ID using your passport, verify with a selfie and guided facial and head movements. It's accepted at more than 200 airports for domestic travel, but does not replace a physical passport or work for border crossings. A big week ahead for hundreds of Michigan high school students and some future iron workers. What inspired this showcase and why these skills matter right now with a welding competition. Our Trade Up series is next.
From downtown Detroit, Local 4 Live starts right now.
Welcome back to Local 4 Live, everybody. I'm Nick Monticelli. Thank you so much for watching. Well, trading up for new careers, today we are going to visit Thurston High School in Redford to check out lessons in skilled trades. Students are welding, fabricating, and competing against other schools across Michigan. We're going to talk about one of those competitions in a few minutes. But first, Kimberly Gill showing us the hands-on learning in action.
Inside Thurston High School in Redford, students are learning real-world skills that go far beyond textbooks. This is one of several career and technical education programs designed to prepare them for high-demand jobs in the skilled trades.
We have several students who graduated last year who are actually working in their field because all of the programs are designed so that students have a wide variety of options when they graduate.
Students can earn industry-recognized credentials and even get real-world experience through partnerships with local employers.
Normally when I kick off the class, I'll express how important welding is, basically. Like the clothes on your back, if not for welders welding the machines together, we wouldn't have clothes on your back, right? So that alone, and the building structure.
That sense of pride is something students here understand well. Seniors like Yair Rios are already putting their training to work. He's part of a work-based learning program at Roush Industries and currently won the Build at Detroit competition.
Now that I got into welding, I know that this is something I want to do because it's like there's so much to it, so much to learn. It may be a little dangerous, some stuff may be a little dangerous about it, but it's very fun to do.
And even younger students are getting in on the action. Junior Ryan Ochoa is preparing to compete in the upcoming Iron Workers High School Welding Invitational later this month.
Realistically, I just like hands-on work, like creating something that from zero to actually having a finish.
Yeah.
And I think that's really the big idea of welding. Yeah. You're starting from nothing, putting something together to make it a whole structure.
All right, that was Kimberly Gill reporting. Members of the Iron Workers Local 25 are the force behind this 2025 High School Welding Invitational. It's a 5-day showcase kicking off next Monday. Nearly 400 high school students are going to be competing in this. Let's bring in Brad Pierce. He is the outreach specialist with the Iron Workers. Brad, thank you so much for joining us. Man, what a great concept and a great idea. How does this welding competition work?
So it's 5 days of competing. We work with the CTE programs across the state of Michigan. We've got about 19 schools who are coming through next week, 80 students a day, and they'll be showcasing what they've learned with their teachers over the past, some 2 years if they're seniors, some brand new juniors in their program. So it's an awesome, awesome event. This is the 4th year I'll be running it.
Very cool. Can you kind of walk us through what the competition looks like? Do you have things laid on a table and they've got to compete in a certain amount of time to get something done, and you judge their welding skills? Like, how does it work?
Sure. Yeah. So we have X blocks. So they'll be welding in each of the 4 positions. So a flat weld, 3/8, a vertical weld, horizontal welding, and an overhead welding. So this is the primary types of welds that we'll be doing on job sites like building the new Hudson site or the Gordie Howe Bridge, whatnot. So this kind of helps us to see where students are at, where schools are at for welding and industry. They have an hour to complete their welds. About 20 will be welding at a time. The rest of the time they'll be in our training facility working with our current apprentices to see if this is a career path that might work well for them in the future.
You know, one of the things that I love to keep an eye on is if I ever see any metal work, you look at the welding and you look at it and say, that's some good art right there. I mean, there is an art to this, isn't there?
Yeah, it's definitely an art. There's a science to it as well. Welding can be the most fun thing in the world, but when you're starting to learn, it can be very frustrating. There's a big learning curve to it. And there is finesse. And Kevin Cartwright over at Thurston, he's one of the instructors who does some pretty interesting artwork type welding. He competes also at Skills USA in their creative arts welding competition, which is awesome. He's done some major sculptures over there with his students. So it's awesome to see you guys interviewed them as well.
Yeah. All right. So you've got 400 kids rolling through. I know they get bragging rights, but what else do they get if they win?
Sure. So our top 3 competitors each day will get entry into our apprenticeship program. That will get their whole apprenticeship paid for, including their tools, new welding hoods, and the pathway into a career. Every student in the top 5 places will also be getting gift cards. And every competitor who comes through is going to get brand new welding gloves, safety glasses, Iron Workers Local 25 swag. And many of our contractors who we work for with the Iron Workers will be divvying out swag from them as well, like Midwest Steel and Ideal Contracting, Barton Mallow. So it's pretty awesome. They get fed every day. It's fun. We want kids to understand that welding is more than just working with your hands. You get to build Michigan, right? This is an opportunity to launch a career.
I was just going to say, it sounds like even if you don't win anything, you walk away a winner because you get all the free swag.
For sure.
Talk to me real quick before I let you go about the demand and the need that you're seeing in the industry and how many more students and young people you could use joining.
Sure. So right now we're projected to bring in 200 new apprentices a year for the foreseeable future. We kind of are facing in the skilled trades the gray tsunami. In the next 10 to 15 years, a lot of people will be retiring. So that means there's opportunity to get into these high demand skilled trades. And it's not just with us in Ironworkers Local 25, pipe fitters, operating engineers, carpenters, all the skilled trades are looking for new apprentices. So you want to build Michigan, there's never a better time to apply into an apprenticeship than now.
The gray tsunami. How dare you, sir? All right, thanks, man. I appreciate your time this morning, and good luck with that competition next week. Now, remember, this entire interview is part of our Trade Up series highlighting businesses, organizations, and schools that are helping people who want to pursue a career in the skilled trades. If you yourself are interested, you can look for past stories, and you might spot a program that works for you. Just head over to clickondetroit.com. Well, a big boost to help develop the Renaissance Center and the Riverfront. We're going to talk all about that when we come back next. But before we go to break, let's take a look at the stock market to see how trading has started for the day. You can see right about now, or now we can see it. Stock market currently trending down, but again, it only opened a few moments ago, 7 minutes ago. We'll see how the markets react to the government reopening after that House vote yesterday. An Oakland County mom is accused of leaving her 3 kids to live in horrifying conditions. Terry Omas Johnson is charged with child abuse. Police found her kids in a trash-filled Pontiac apartment with no plumbing. Some of the pictures inside are just too disturbing to show you. Police found the kids when a 12-year-old girl reported a break-in. The kids are now with their fathers. A judge will decide if video will be restricted in the trial of a woman accused of stabbing her McDonald's manager to death. Afeni Muhammad is charged with Jennifer Harris's murder at the East Point restaurant in July. A motion hearing asked to restrict video and not show witnesses from inside the McDonald's and body camera video. The judge has not made a decision just yet. How are you doing today? Well, on this Thursday, we are getting a new look at the plan to transform the area around the RenCen and Riverfront. The Downtown Development Authority is giving the project $75 million. You're looking at pictures of the plan, including a new pedestrian promenade from Jefferson Avenue to all the way to the Riverfront. 2 of the RenCen's towers will be torn down to make room for this project. Well, now to a national chain closure that's impacting people here in Detroit. Take a look at this sign. It was taped to the window of the Gabriel Richard building on Michigan Avenue, saying the property is no longer in operation. Sonder Hotels is a chain of short-term rentals offering extended stays and boutique accommodations. The company suddenly filed for bankruptcy, and all of its hotels worldwide have been shut down, leaving guests in the lurch. As Amaya Kuznicki explains, this caught a lot of people off guard.
This is a sign posted on the door outside of a Sonder location in Detroit. It said this property is no longer in operation, leaving the people that booked here stunned.
I was hoping to get to my room and get straight on a call and carry on with my business, but unfortunately that's not going to happen right now.
When Jeremy Dawkins arrived at his Sonder rental in downtown Detroit, he found the front doors locked, and he was shocked.
I'm hoping another wonderful hotel around here is going to take me in this evening.
But Dawkins isn't alone. Natasha Mead had to rework her fully booked trip to Rome after learning her Sonder reservation was canceled.
We just received an email on Sunday saying that Marriott and Sonder had no relationship anymore and that they wouldn't be able to honor our reservation.
Marriott ended its agreement with Sonder after the company failed to meet terms. Sonder says it struggled financially and couldn't find buyers or funding to keep going. It's now winding down operations and plans to file for Chapter 7 bankruptcy in the U.S.
We ended up contacting Marriott yesterday to find out how to get a refund, and they told us that they weren't able to process the refund because it was a third party.
She then contacted Sonder and received a similar response to what we heard from the Detroit location.
As a result, Sonder is no longer monitoring this channel.
Determined to get her money back, she filed a dispute with her credit card company and got refunded right away.
I was just grateful that it's so many months away. Thankfully, it didn't really affect us too badly, but I feel for other people.
Marriott says its top priority is helping people that are currently staying at Sonder properties or those that have upcoming reservations. However, if you booked with a third party like Booking.com or Airbnb, you should reach out to those directly. In Detroit, Amaya Kuznicki, Local 4.
All right, Amaya, thank you so much. Over on the west side of the state, there are a few trees topping the list of biggest and best. Here's a live look near Grand Rapids. We're going to take you on the tour of the best, plus a bit of a warm-up in Ashley's full forecast. We'll bring that to you next. Welcome back, everybody. A live look near Grand Rapids right now. And the next time you hit the trails, you could be walking among champions. The latest list of national champion trees is out, and Michigan is claiming 7 of these giants. Of them is the Bur Oak in Berrien County. It's 91 feet tall with a crown spread of 127 feet. Or there's the Black Ash and Red Pine up in the UP, both soaring over 115 feet. And don't miss the quirky quaking aspen, towering at 119 feet in Chippewa County. That's just a few of Michigan's champions. The champion of all champions, that is a giant sequoia in California. It's over 2,000 years old and sits at 274 feet tall. That's roughly the size of a 25-story building and just about the size of the Statue of Liberty. The National Champion Tree Program works to protect, preserve, and keep track of the biggest trees across the U.S. All right, let's get to Ashley with a look at your forecast, which has a little bit of a warm-up. Hey, Ash.
Now, forewarned weather with Exact Track 4D.
Well, while we enjoy sunshine from the clear skies today, the clear skies overnight allowed us to have some spectacular viewing of the aurora borealis. I wanted to share some My Pick photos with you because 2 nights in a row, portions of southeastern Michigan seeing the northern lights in the night sky. This one coming in from Oakland Township, the Rotfather showing the red and green pillars. And one thing you'll notice with all of these photos, you can also see the stars in the night sky. That's how crystal clear it was. Another beautiful shot coming out of Commerce Township right over the water from Chris Ann's. And then we have another one from Michael in West Bloomfield. And once again, the greens and the reds just looking spectacular. So the Aurora Borealis showing off last night across Metro Detroit. We started off with temperatures in the 30s early today and then rising into the 50s this afternoon. So sunshine holding on throughout the day, where you need the sunglasses if you're running errands and you're going to be out and about. Pretty seasonal day on tap. Today's winds, well, we have 20-mile-per-hour winds through, I would say, mid-afternoon, and then you start to see them gradually and slowly kind of tapering off. So we're at least going in the right direction with the gustier conditions that we've had for, it seems like, a couple weeks now. Calmer conditions working their way in for the remainder of the work week. But then those temperatures, even with a little breeze, can still feel a little cooler, as the wind chills will be a couple degrees colder than the actual air temperature. So that 50-degree temperature might feel like upper 40s at points today. November highs. I want to show you this because we've been all over the map. It has been a roller coaster ride so far this month. We started off seasonal for the first couple days of November, and then we had a nice bounce above average. Now, it wasn't significant, but the warmest day that we have clocked so far this month, 63 degrees, and that was on Tuesday, November 4th. But then we had a slide, a significant slide, to where we were 20 degrees below average earlier this week, where highs were only in the 30s. But now we're climbing out of that, and we will end up tagging on a couple above average days before it's all said and done for your Friday and Saturday at least. Saturday does come with a rain chance. Let's go ahead and time that out for you. So we get a little bit of moisture building in around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. This is a long-range model, and you've probably heard me say before, kind of overplays just how widespread the rain event will be. It just is showing us that there's moisture in the area. So I'm going to compare it to another more high-resolution model in a moment to kind of pinpoint what I'm talking about there. But as far as Sunday, you might see some flakes flying up north if you're traveling up north. The rest of us are drier, but we're going to be distinctly cooler and windier for the second half of the weekend. And then we have some rain pushing in the region Tuesday, but model data keeping that to our south. So right now I'm going to call for a chance for showers if that tracks a little bit farther north, but it's not going to be a slam dunk. This is the model I wanted to show you. So we hold on to clear skies today. We'll stay dry tomorrow, but then Tuesday after 2 o'clock, there's that passing shower. See how it's a little more isolated and scattered, with another line that could pass by late Saturday night into that midnight hour going into Sunday, and then we trend drier for Sunday. So just wanted to compare more of that long range model to something that's a little more specific. Wind forecast, well, those winds start to pick up, gusts 25 to 30 miles per hour this weekend, which means if you're going to do any yard work outside, especially raking those leaves, Friday's the best day to do it, along with hanging the holiday lights, because you don't want to have to deal with the rain Saturday, and you certainly don't want to deal with the cooler and windier conditions on Sunday, but there still will be windows where you can get outside. 61 Saturday's the warmest day of the next 7, and in the 7-day forecast will be in the mid to upper 40s Sunday through the first half of next week.
All right, Eagles country is buzzing, geared up for a big Sunday night football showdown. The Lions and Eagles have both been talked about for the Super Bowl recently, but they haven't faced off until now. This Sunday, these two midseason contenders clash in a high-stakes battle for the NFC lead. Lions head coach Dan Campbell says they are a tough opponent, but the team is ready to fight for the win.
From this, your experience, how competitive you are. How much does that add to it, like to try to get a victory against these guys going? Because you, in the previous two, you guys haven't. And what's made them so successful?
Well, first, I just want to win, man. Right? I mean, that's what being competitive is, man. You want to win, and yeah, those guys, we played them twice. They got our number twice. You know, they got after us both times, really. I mean, we fought our way back in 22, but really we were down pretty good. You know, and they're. You know, they have a style and they're very good at it, you know, and I wouldn't say there's anything necessarily complex about it, but it's very sound. It's very sound across the board. And like I say, Nick's done an unbelievable job. And then, you know, Coach Fangio, I mean, he's a legend, man. It stood the test of time, that style of defense, the way they play, the coverage, the rush goes hand in hand, and it's a pain in the ass. It's hard. It's hard to deal with offensively. But I just think it's good. It's good, sound football. And they don't beat themselves. I mean, at the end of the day, they don't beat themselves. And when they need a critical play, they come up with a critical play. And that's what champions do. And that's why they've been able to have the success that they have.
All right, we are going on the road with the Lions this weekend to take on the Eagles. Our Hobie Artigue will be in Philly Sunday with coverage starting at 6 o'clock. Kickoff is 8:20, and then followed by Local 4. Oh, I just dropped something off the desk here. Local 4 News with post-game reactions. You didn't have to take the shot, you guys. I could have just I have no idea what's going on anymore. Still ahead, we're going to take you behind the scenes of one of the biggest events in Detroit all year. Up next, we're going to reveal the new float that you'll see headed down Woodward on Thanksgiving during America's Thanksgiving Parade. Well, there's about 2 weeks until America's Thanksgiving Parade presented by Gardner White. So we're getting an exclusive first look at the second newest float in this parade. I took a trip to the parade company yesterday for the big reveal of the Pet Supplies Plus float. Take a look. The newest float that's going to be rolling down Woodward on Thanksgiving Day is the Pet Supplies Plus float, and Erica is with Pet Supplies Plus. You did this whole thing. You talked about what you wanted. How did it turn out?
It turned out great. It's bigger than I even thought it was going to be. This is the first time I actually got to see it and see it all together, but it's awesome.
So every little piece tells a story, right?
Absolutely. The first section here is all about our adoption events. We love our community. We all partner at all of our stores with adoption agencies. It even features our actual tent that we take around from our office. And yeah, our just love for pets in our community is all about the first part.
Hey, what is the pet waste station?
Well, you know, it's a poop bag station. You got to pick up after your pets. We can't, you know, leave little nuggets behind.
Any concerns about what might happen to that fire hydrant?
I'm really actually concerned about the tent. We were all joking that we're going to be holding onto it on Thanksgiving Day.
As long as it's not too windy. And then, I mean, the hydrant is appropriately sized for all the dogs you have, though.
Absolutely. Giant dogs in our second car here. This is actually our service and guarantee part of the float. This is the front of our store. We have an associate out carrying someone's online order out.
You got the birds and the cats and the fish. You got everybody.
Well, we service everybody. We love our menagerie neighbors. We even have signs. These are actual signs from our store. So every piece of the float has a little part of us on it.
Very cool. Okay, now the back end is where all the bubbles are.
Yes, that's
and
the
where
fun
all the kids
part.
are going to be chasing downward. We're looking at them. This is kind of a new addition to Pet Supplies Plus the family, right?
It is, absolutely. It's our pet wash and our dog wash. So this is all about our services. We made it really fun back here. We'll have bubbles trailing us. I was hoping to stand on this portion, but I'm not going to.
Why not?
I got to hold on to the tent in the front. But yeah, we're really excited. This is, you know, highlighting how we keep pups clean and neighbors happy.
Very cool. Erica, thank you so much. Congratulations. Can't wait to see it rolling down on Woodward on Thanksgiving morning. We'll see you guys then. I will see you there. It's amazing. 2 places at once. This year's parade theme is Thanksgiving is Better in Detroit. Local 4, of course, your exclusive home for the parade. Our coverage begins at 6 o'clock in the morning on Thanksgiving morning. So much more to come here on Local 4 throughout the day, including the talented Kim DeGiulio from Live in the D.
Oh my goodness, thank you.
I figured I should boost you up once in a while.
You're talented. You were there, and now you're here.
I can move like
it's
that.
Incredible.
All right, what you got today?
So very exciting. Of course, today is Thursday, which means, you know, we're getting ready for the weekend.
Yeah.
So we've got
Sounds like a song.
We're getting ready for the weekend. So we've got what's going on, not just in Detroit, but all around Metro Detroit. April does that segment on Thursdays. So looking forward to hearing about that. Of course, this is like the best time of year for that because there's so many events.
So many things going on.
I know. Something for the kids, something for the adults. So we're going to be talking about that. We also have John Jordan on today, and he's going to do a segment about making your makeup do more than just be makeup. I have no idea what he's going to dive into. He's always so creative about these things. But
what do you mean making your makeup do more than makeup?
That's what he said. We're going to make it go
That's like,
further.
can you make this pen do more than pen?
Maybe you can turn this pen into makeup.
Okay, nuts.
It's crazy.
Pretty fun
Also, we're going to be talking about holiday spending and how the different generations.
I love that story.
Why?
Yes. Well, just because I read an article the other day saying that Gen Zers are looking at this and saying, I am not spending my hard-earned cash on all of these gifts for everybody.
Well, it's because they're not working. No. It's like they don't have the
just
money.
valuing it more, yeah.
No, it's true. Gen Z is just changing the game and everything. I feel like in the workplace. And then I do think like holiday spending has gotten out of control. So maybe Gen Z will be the generation to kind of bring it down back to reality.
But you can still go above and beyond on the present to me if you'd like.
For you.
For me.
Absolutely.
Got it.
You and my kids, and that's it. I guess my husband too. Well,
forget him. All right,
exactly.
thanks, Kim.
Join us at 11 a.m.
Make it a great Thursday, everybody.